Today we're going to open the Cardboard Sculpture Studio. So sculpture is art that is three-dimensional. It's not flat like a piece of paper. Here's a great book that'll be out for you to look at. Sculptures could be made out of stone, they could be carved, they could be made out of clay, they could be made out of found objects. They could be made out of paper mache. They could be made out of wood. So we're going to start ours with sculpture, or with cardboard. So this is all different cardboard pieces that I have been collecting for you, and I would love if you helped me to start collecting. You'll see these are things that you can find at your own homes or some of the recycle bins here at school. These were some boxes. I think they were from when the teachers were getting new computers. Here's some toilet paper tubes, ribbon rolls, tape rolls. Here's some square pieces, tissue boxes. Here's some other ones I've rescued before they went to the recycle bin. Paper towel tubes, egg cartons. Here's some cut up strips. Here's some more rectangular pieces, some a little bit bigger, more strips. These are some thinner pieces, okay? And down here I've got larger pieces along the bottom, and this might kind of change throughout the year, but that's what we have in there right now. Some of these things are very thick and difficult to cut. So you'll see if I ever get pieces like this, these are really thick and hard to cut. And then we have pieces like this. These are kind of like the back of a notebook. These are a little bit easier to cut. So if you're, in kindergarten, first or second grade, you probably want to try to find some of these pieces that are a little easier to cut because your hands are not as big. If you're in third or fourth grade, you probably might be able to start cutting some of the thicker pieces, okay? Let's look up here. This is the size box. It says sculptures must fit inside. Now, I normally wouldn't care about the size of a sculpture, but we don't want anything too big because we have to share this space with the whole school. And we're gonna probably be storing a lot of our stuff along these counters, and we're gonna run out of room if we make them too big. Another place you can store are in your shelves. If they are small enough to fit in your shelf, that is actually great. If they're too big to fit in your shelf, then we'll put them on over here. So if you are going to be storing something over here, always in art, we need to write our name on our sculpture. That goes for anything, but I'm putting some Sharpie markers here so that you can remember to do that because we're gonna have a lot of sculptures in the art room these days. Okay, so since we're over here, let's take a look at some of the other supplies that we have in the sculpture studio. Now this is, it looks like regular glue that we have over in the collage studio up there, but this is, it's Elmer's glue, but it's a little bit stronger. I like this glue. It's called Glue All. If you want some for your own, it's actually just like at Target. It's at most places, but it's stronger than the paper glue. So we can use this. Now to open the glue bottle, remember you gotta twist this nozzle and then it's open. When the bottle's pretty full, it comes out fast. When it's not very full, you have to shake it. If you get glue all over, wipe it and twist it back down, okay? We'll keep them in there for now. This is another option to adhere things to each other. Adhere means to stick them together. So you may have noticed if you get packages in the mail, they have this brown tape on them. Well, it's not sticky yet. So what we do is this is a wet sponge. This is not a glue sponge like the Collage Studio. This is just water. And I'm gonna dip it into there. Okay, now that it's wet, it's kind of like the way an envelope needs to be licked or get wet. And then you can stick this onto your cardboard. Do not stick wet anything into this container because then they all get stuck together. These are all dry right now. Okay, so I'm gonna use this on my sculpture. I'm done with this. Let's say, so I just gotta clean this up. Like I said, this is just water, but we still don't want it to dry out. So you might also be interested in some other tapes. These are kind of like duct tapes and colorful masking tape. And here's just regular masking tape. And then we have this tape dispenser with this packaging tape that's kind of fun colors. But I want to point out this blade right here is very, very sharp. It actually says caution sharp blade. So you can use that, but I don't want anybody touching that. If we are messing with it, I might have to put that up, and I wouldn't want to do that. To use the duct tape, you might have to use a scissors, or it's a little bit hard for me to show, but you'll pinch it with 2 hands, 2 fingers, and rip it. You got to use both your hands to do it. Okay, so just like in our sculpture studio, we're going to be, or in our collage studio, we're going to be cutting down some of this cardboard. So I want us to think about how to not waste. So I did an example of what not to do. I have this huge piece of cardboard. I wanted to get a rectangle, and I cut right into the middle and cut out a rectangle. But now this huge piece is kind of wasted. So if I wanted to get a rectangle, or any shape really, I'm going to try to find a smaller piece first, okay? Even if I needed to cut a circle, I would start with these smaller pieces. This would be to cut like a bigger piece out. Okay, so this is what not to do. Don't go into the middle of a piece. If you have to use a big piece, then use the corner of it, because then the rest of the piece is still solid for somebody to use. All right, so I want to show you one more thing, and this is only for the 3rd and 4th graders. So something to look forward to for if you're younger and watching this. These up here are some heavier duty scissors. They are very sharp. We will talk more about those in the class. These are not for kids that are in kindergarten, pre-K, 2nd grade, 1st grade. Okay, they're just too big. Here's adult size scissors, and then we've got these are hole punchers for cardboard. And if you use the hole punchers, you can use these fasteners. Okay, so that's something I will show you in another video too. All right, so this is the Cardboard Sculpture Studio. I hope you enjoy. Make sure you clean up and try to put it back as nicely as you find it, because this is your art studio.